It's time for Would You Rather? Okay, so
should be a little
and
longer.
that was Would You Rather?
this is basically, guys, it's the classic Would You Rather. I'm going to say a Would You Rather, and then I'll take questions about the specific scenario. I'll need all three of you for this, and then we'll go one by one, and we'll make a choice of Would You Rather. Earlier in the week, yesterday, in fact, I put on my Twitter, which is @ScottAukerman, I asked for readers' suggestions, and they sent in some really funny ones. Hopefully we'll get to a lot of them. So we'll start with this. Rut L.A. Rut Baga, maybe? I don't know. God, that's so annoying. Just use your name.
Right? I agree.
Okay, here's the first one. Would you rather spend 10 years in prison or spend 1 year in prison? All right, I'm opening the floor for questions. Any questions from any of the three of you about, you can ask any sort of specific question about the scenario?
Are they both the same prison?
That is a very good question, Steve. Very good. They are both the same prison, yes. They one is the 1 year is a cush, comfy, country club type prison, and the 10 years also that same prison. Yes.
I think that...
Who's in the prison?
Who is in the prison? That is a great question.
Madoff there?
Like other prisoners.
Or Manson?
It is the exact same prison and with the exact same prisoners.
So you're not going to tell me who. You're just going to say the same.
Well, the same people. Imagine, if you will...
it's white collar. It's like a cush.
It is white collar. So, yeah, I'm sure Madoff would be there.
As long as it's white.
Yes. No Persians in this prison.
I have an answer.
Well, no questions. We'll go in a row.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I thought you were waiting.
No more questions about the specifics of this prison or the scenario, why you're in it, anything. I mean,
so it's not like Lock Up Raw. It's like
no.
Everyone's really nice.
Would I have to start serving either one of those sentences immediately, or would I have time to prepare?
That is a great question. In the 10 years in prison scenario, you have a lot of time to prepare. You have 6 months to kind of get your affairs in order.
Okay.
In the 1 year scenario, you also have that same 6 months.
Ooh, man.
Okay.
What are you going to do to prepare?
Just anal Kegel exercises, I guess.
All right, time for the answers. No more questions. Questions are closed. Steve Agee, to my left, 10 years in prison or 1 year in prison?
10 years.
10 years. Why so?
It's cush. I think I'd like that.
Okay. Natasha?
I'm going to have to go with Steve.
10 years.
You can't go with me. It's probably a male prison.
And that's why I'm not going. Only 1 year. I don't want to be there with Natasha and Steve making their jokes.
This is exactly how you play. All right, so let's move on. Jameson Guest says, would you rather discover the cure for cancer or get cancer?
Oh, jeez.
We are open for questions.
I have a question.
Sure.
What kind of cancer?
Probably anal or ball. I'll give it either one of those.
Girls don't get those.
Farrah Fawcett doesn't get anal cancer?
Right.
Got anal.
Come on.
I thought they went together. I wasn't sure.
Oh, I
didn't know Farrah Fawcett died. Sorry.
Okay, so if you're a girl, you get anal cancer. If you're a guy, you get ball cancer.
Ooh.
Let's say that.
Okay, you said the first choice is cure cancer?
Yes.
And are people going to be coming up to you, like, thanking you all the time and getting in your face and shit?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Like, thank you. I can't tell you how you've helped my family and I.
And, like, Facebooking you, Twittering you.
Oh, God, yes.
Yeah,
sounds like a nightmare.
A lot of that.
If you get it, is there a cure for it, or are you going to die from it?
Yeah, you cured it. Some other guy's curing it.
No.
Can you ghost cure it?
You can do one or the other. You can only get it. I should mention that if you do get it, someone else has come up with the cure. Yes.
Well, that's great then.
But the cure is extensive chemotherapy mixed with cutting out that part of the body.
I think they already got that.
If you cure it, if you find the cure to cancer, can you just not tell anybody about it? And just let
that
the
is a great
cancer go
question.
on?
Yes, you may keep it to yourself and only use it on loved ones if you prefer.
Or can you get the cure and then tell people you have it, but then tell them something else that's not the cure that makes them worse?
quite possible.
Worse.
Wait, I have a question.
One more question from Natasha.
How much money do you get for curing the cancer versus how much do you get in a settlement for getting cancer?
That is a great question. Okay, we should establish this. For curing cancer, you make a deal with the pharmaceutical companies, but they are very insipid and they're very corrupt, and they do not give you the fair deal. And so you spend the rest of your life wishing that you had gotten a fair deal, and you just sold your cure for, like, say, $3 million, but they're making $5 billion on
This
it.
sounds like the corporate comedy record industry.
Yes. So you have a lot of regret. You spend the rest of your life with a lot of regret. However, in the getting cancer, you're able to sue your boss, and you get the $3 million that you would have got for curing it.
So it's the same amount of money.
Same amount of money, yes.
Ooh,
All right, so I'm going to have to take answers. We're going to start with Natasha in the middle. What is your answer?
I guess I'd rather cure it.
Cure it.
Wow, you sounded really
Why is
bummed
that?
out about that.
Because I feel like, I believe in metaphysical, I believe in the universe kind of like responding to your thoughts and your actions. So if I say I'd rather get cancer, it might actually happen, even though I know
in
this
a
is
joke
a joke
comedy segment?
Yes,
All
I'm
right.
very serious about that sort of thing.
All right, Matt Besser to her left and my right.
Okay, I would rather get it because I know if I cured it, that'd probably be the new way people introed me at the comedy clubs. Hey, guy who cured cancer, I'm sure he'll be funny. Here he is.
Founding member of the UCB who cured cancer.
Father
Yeah.
of
Oh, now that's
cancer
funny.
cures. Father of...
Coming
I-
around clockwise to Steve Agee.
I'll go with getting cancer.
Getting cancer, reason.
I'm a hypochondriac, and my biggest fear is having a heart attack. And I feel that if I had cancer,
It would relax you.
I probably wouldn't have a heart attack, because you never hear of people
That's true.
getting
You never hear about
two-
people doubling up like
two
that.
diseases.
Sometimes they have a heart attack right when they're notified of having cancer,
Yeah,
though.
that's true.
All right, so we have 1 to cure, 2 to get. Let's move on. Carolyn Lorena asks, would you rather only be able to watch the Tyra show for the rest of your life, or watch anything you want at any time?
Ooh. What if they're both?
What if you only want to watch the Tyra?
Yeah.
Then the choice is
Simple. The
simple.
choice would be
Yeah,
simple.
all right.
So America's Top Model isn't included. in
No.
this
No.
scenario.
So that is a very important distinction, Matt. You need to keep that in mind before you answer. Natasha, you have a question.
Yes, it's for the rest of your life. Does that mean that if does Tyra have a contract for like the next 10 years, or if her show ends tomorrow, do we
Great
just
question.
have to watch reruns, which I may have already seen?
Great question. Hand in hand with this agreement, Tyra also enters into agreement that for the rest of your life, she will stay alive and keep doing her show. So that is a great question.
I know I asked about America's Top Model earlier. On this Tyra show, do they have people from America's Top Model sometimes come on and
Matt.
talk about that show?
Great question. That is a great question. She uses synergy in her marketing strategies. So, yes, she does have people from Top Model. You would probably be able to keep abreast of the happenings on
They
America's
probably
Next
show
Top Model.
clips, too.
Yes, they would. So that is a great question. Keep that in mind. Natasha.
One last question.
Yes.
Because Tyra is so enterprising, she's coming out with everything from deodorant to hamburgers to magazines, her own thing. What if she has some new shows that come out, and maybe it's even called The Tyra Show, redoes her show, spin-offs of her show? Are we allowed to include that?
I was going to say a similar thing if some of the top models spun off their own talk shows,
You really love the
modeling shows.
Which top models do you...
Which cycle?
The top ones of the tippity top. I like the tippity top models.
Natasha, that is a great question. Unfortunately, I do not have the research on that.
Okay.
So, that may happen, that may not. I don't have that in front of me, that kind of information. So keep that in mind. So we're going to go to Matt Besser first. Matt, what is your answer?
Obviously, I want to watch whatever I want, so I can
Watch America's Top Model. Yeah. Okay, good. I thought that was coming. Steve,
I would choose to watch Tyra show.
why is that?
One word. Big old titties.
I was going to say that, too.
She does have an unfortunate hairline, though.
From what I understand, most people have a 4-head. She has a 5-head. Natasha, your answer, please.
I don't think I'd be able to live without watching my favorite show. I didn't know I was pregnant on TLC. So it's
Okay.
going to have to be whatever I want.
All right, so let's do what this is fun. Let's do one more. God, I got so many great ones. I have 4 more
Scott,
I
you
could
haven't
read.
answered any of these questions. Which
I
you would rather.
must remain an impartial judge.
Is this a contest?
Fair enough.
Yes.
Do one of us win from,
Yes,
from our
of course.
answers? Okay,
Didn't it?
great.
Wasn't that established earlier? Okay, let me do this one. Wolfhard asks, would you rather make love to a living Kermit the Frog or the Kermit Muppet operated by a living Jim Henson who will not look at you?
What?
Can you repeat
This is
that?
complicated.
Yeah, that
Would you
one
rather
blew my
make
mind.
love to Kermit the Frog if he were a real frog, not a puppet?
Does he talk?
Yes, of course.
Ugh.
Of course, Matt. Or would you rather make love to the Kermit Muppet? Meanwhile, Jim Henson's hand is inside the Muppet, operating the Muppet, but he is not looking at you.
That sounds fun.
But that means if you're
It's like a
fucking
hand
it,
job.
yeah, that's Jim Henson's hand working your dick.
Yes, of course.
Working.
But bear in mind, he is not looking at you. You do not have the shame of having to stare him in the eyes while he does this.
Do you
Does
have
he-
to look at Kermit, though, while it's happening?
You want to look at Kermit, if that's what you're asking.
Yes.
Is he using just a bare hand, or does he have like mayonnaise, or like raw eggs, or like hamburger meat, or something in there too?
Wait, so Kermit has that in his mouth while he's, or
Jim Henson
has
has
it
that in
in
his hand.
and then the Muppet over that. Is that what you're asking?
Yeah, like is he?
I'm gonna be
Did he
sick.
stuff it tight with like hamburger meat and raw eggs or something like
That
that?
is a great question, and I'm glad you brought it up because, yes, he does do that.
Does a frog? Is it like a frog size or is it like a normal size?
It is,
Or like a human size.
I see where you're going with
Yeah,
this.
it better
Is
at least be a
because
10-inch frog, my friend.
Kermit is a little larger than a normal frog. The Muppet
True.
Oh, it's
is
like
a little larger.
frog size, or it's a frog
What-
frog feeling.
Puppet
I guess
size.
I'd
Puppet
have
size.
I guess
Not as
I'd
big as
have
a
no.
dog.
I would have to say that if he were actually real, then he would have to be a frog because that's in his name,
Okay.
the nomenclature. So he couldn't be bigger than a normal frog, so he would have to be a real frog. So
They're
that is a great
huge
question.
frogs, though.
There are really big frogs in the world.
Is it a girl frog? Oh, it's a boy frog.
For you, it is a boy frog. For the other two gentlemen here, it is a boy frog.
If you choose to make love to a real Kermit Frog, would he turn into a prince afterwards?
Oh, great question. No.
Oh,
Of
well.
course not.
All right, so I'm going to go for your answers. We're going to start with Steve Agee to my left.
I choose Jim Henson operating
And why is that?
because I'm a necrophiliac.
No,
But he's alive.
I believe it's in the question.
alive?
It's in the question
In the
that
question,
he is
he's
living.
alive.
Oh,
He is
living
living.
Jim Henson.
Do you
then I'll
want-
fuck a real frog.
Okay, great. Natasha?
I think that the real live Jim Henson connected to the Muppet would be cool because also, you get to meet a genius and
That's true. You could probably have a little pillow talk afterwards where you talk to him about how he created Sesame Street. Who's funnier, Statler or Waldorf?
And you know what? I really think that stuff rubs off on you. Like whoever was having
What,
sex.
the hamburger meat?
Literally.
No, like when you have sex with geniuses, like if you had sex with Picasso, like some of that like seeps in somehow. So I really think that
You
I
get a
could
lot of
maybe
that with
Literally.
Duncan, I know. Matt, we're going to ask for your answer.
Okay, if he really has the hamburger meat and it's really packed full, I'm going to do that because... And I'm going to shoot in his hair because he's not looking at me. I'm going to pull out and shoot in his hair.
Oh my God.
All right. And that is how you play Would You Rather?
Jim Henson is attacking.
Jim Henson is at the gates.
He's holding hamburger meat just in his other hand.
All right, we're going to come back with more from these three after track 7. This is John C. Reilly and Will Ferrell, Indy 1031.